What highly illegal thing took place at your high school? Two students planned and carried out a coordinated attack on one of the math teachers by waiting by the top of the stairs between periods, and when he passed by them to go down the steps, one of them pushed him from behind while the other pulled his leg out to trip him. The teacher fell down the steps and broke his neck and back, and was paralyzed from the neck down. The kid's reasoning: because one of them was dropped from the basketball team because he was failing that teacher's math class. Both of them were 15 years old, so they didn't get jail time. They both got expelled and were sent to juvenile detention. The teacher sued the school district and got a settlement in the lower 7-digit range. Our football coach took off with one of the girls in the high school and moved to Mexico and married her. He had a wife and kids. They then hired a brand new football coach who was 23 years old. Before the end of his first year, he was hooking up with an 18-year-old senior girl. They also took off and went somewhere. We went without a coach for a couple years. My golf coach got arrested in Kansas for driving with a spare tire full of cocaine. I interviewed to teach at an high school once. One of the questions from the school board was, "Can you avoid sleeping with your students?" Me: yes I can. School board thinks I'm great. Principal thinks I'm great. Superintendent of schools doesn't think I'm cut out for the job. Gives me the runaround. Principal is trying to help me push through it and get hired, but I finally give up and get a normal job elsewhere. Superintendent hires his nephew, wonder why he gave me the runaround, who promptly has sex with a student and gets fired. I still see the principal occasionally. He always apologizes. "I wanted to hire you." He's way too nice to have been stuck at that lousy school. The principal was fucking students. A few years after I graduated, some parents found out and took him to court. He hung himself before he could be convicted. Over spring break one year, the entire hockey team and the cheerleaders all went to rehab. The goalie was dealing coke to all of them. My teacher was molesting my 14-year-old classmate for a while. He went to jail and is still there 20 years later, because another past victim came forward. So that's pretty illegal. Knew a guy that sold cocaine in class and tried to offer a girl pot to sleep with him. There was also some public underage sex in one of the halls that led to a girl starving herself until she miscarried. Drama teacher slept with the hottest chicks in class and nothing ever happened to him. We had a softball coach sleep with his students, but a far more interesting story that didn't technically take place on school grounds. There was this kid who was constantly being harassed by bullies. They would even follow him after school and attack him. So there was this hardware store across the street, and a lot of kids would hang out in the parking lot after school. The bullies chased the kid inside and cornered him in the garden section. They kept hitting and kicking him, so the dude grabbed an axe from one of the shelves and just started swinging. All the bullies ended up in the hospital with various injuries. Security camera got the whole thing, but I can't remember now if Gimli's son of Gloin was charged or if it was ruled self-defense. Update: I followed up with my sister, who actually knew the kids involved better than me. She was closer to their age. The news articles that came out at the time didn't really talk about the pattern of abuse that led to the axe-kicking. But she did confirm that Gimli was sent to juvenile corrections for a while. She remembered when he got out, and as far as she knew, he was doing well. Had a guy selling heroin. After that, there was a weekly police presence. Also, a kid bound a girl to a chair, gagged her and stuffed her in a cupboard in a woodworking shop. He claims it was to help her complete the sponsored silence she had been doing that day. A bunch of the guys had a fight club. It had been going on for years, no face hits, and there was a less than 18 and greater than 18 group. So if they got caught, nobody got assault on a minor charges. It was actually really well planned, and had been going on for years. Until one dumbass junior broke the first rule of the fight club, and posted a video. A bunch of kids got suspended, I think, a couple of the seniors got probation or different. We had a science teacher say, "If you don't put goggles on, I'm going to have to spray you in the eyes with Lysol." Which was probably not illegal until the student tried to call her bluff. She wasn't bluffing. There were 4 freshmen in the bathroom stall, just vaping, and the teacher came in, so they freaked out and didn't want to get in trouble. So they thought calling the cops on the teacher for harassment would get them out of trouble. They got expelled an hour after the cops arrived. Kids were selling candy and snacks to other students, obliterating the monopoly that the vending machines once held. Administration cut that shit out real quick. A specially the kid got jumped by a dude on his way to school and was beaten bloody. The whole thing was recorded by the guy's girlfriend and her friend. The whole time they were cheering him on, yelling things like "World Star" and so on. She later posted it on Instagram, which pissed off everyone, and just about everyone wanted to beat the dude up in the vid. He was given temporary suspension, while the police took care of him. From what I know, he was given an assault charge. Also, side note, there was a girl at my school who was in minor league boxing, who was ready to beat him up. She even tried looking for him by his house. Guy would burn copies of the new Eminem album for people for $5, much illegal. Probably made a fortune. Who has $15 for a CD? Plus, mom said the language is too explicit, so she'll only buy the Walmart censored version. My senior year, one of my friends was murdered by her boyfriend, and he drove around with her body in the trunk for a couple of hours. Also, a couple of kids got caught giving each other piercings in the stairwells. Spanish teacher got arrested for illegally bringing over a 14-year-old Argentinian girl and keeping her as a sex toy. But since she was here illegally and wouldn't testify against him, she was deported and he came back to school later in the year. Come to find out, a couple of years later he had molested like half of the girls' volleyball team he was the coach of. Oh, here's my time to shine. Someone smeared peanut butter all over the allergy table. Someone spray painted a swastika and wrote homophobic and racist messages all over the walls. A lot of people bring drugs and alcohol. Someone took all the fire extinguishers and set them off in the cafeteria. Someone threatened to bomb the school multiple times. Someone beat up a teacher. Someone assisted a suicide attempt. Someone caught 2 foreign exchange students having sex with each other in the girls' bathroom during the lunch period. This isn't technically illegal, but someone started the fault dancing during the moment of silence on 9/11. What a mad lad. A terrorist bomb exploded just in front of our school when I was in middle school. We were studying when it happened. There was a big smoke, glasses were shattered, everybody rushed outside as soon as they heard the explosion. I just stood dumbstruck in my seat a full 10 seconds before being able to move. Years later, this is still my most overwhelming experience in my life. This was middle school, but our computer teacher was fired after they caught him watching porn in the computer lab during lunch. Rumor has it he was watching on the big projector screen they used for teaching. 3. From when I lived in FL. Someone thought it would be funny to leave baby powder in the boys' bathroom and got the school locked down for an anthrax attack. We didn't get to go home until 7 p.m. Bomb threats, so many bomb threats. Legit race war. Super racist skinheads attacked a Puerto Rican student during lunch outside, blindsided him with a lunch tray. He started yelling, massive fight broke out. 30 plus students arrested. My friends and I watched from the other side of the courtyard in A. Got to enter a witness report to police too.